Welcome.
Oh, thank you. When I've been meditating for the past year, I've been experiencing a great deal of energy within my body.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed that in the past, whenever it would release, I would enter a more deeper, relaxed space. Mm-hmm. More recently, it's become much more intense and actually painful, like especially in my chest.
Yeah.
And is that something that happens? Or
Very common.
Okay.
It's very common because these energies will tend to coalesce at the various energy points, you know? Okay. Typically they're called chakras, but I don't want to get into the whole chakra thing necessarily. I don't want to get esoteric about it, but there's certainly energy points, right? Everybody feels them. There's the heart, there's your solar plexus, there's your gut, there's the sexual center. You feel them. Mm-hmm. There's your throat, there's, then there's some in your head. But anywhere, if there's a blockage, then the energy will fixate in the blockage, and that will cause pain, physical pain, because this isn't just sort of an abstract metaphorical process. It's also very, very concrete. Very physical, right? So in the midst of one's own awakening, one's becoming conscious, you're actually freeing up a lot of energy in your system. That's what you've been experiencing. Energy that was chewed up in a lot of other areas is no longer, parts of you are no longer chewing up so much energy. And so there's a lot more available. When it starts to be available and flow through the system, you really feel it, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, some people will stay awake for years almost. I mean, God, I haven't slept for more than 2 hours in 3 years or something. But it's not necessarily uncommon. Okay. But eventually that energy, since there's so much energy in the system, that our blockages will be highlighted, you see. They were always there. But they were at a much more subdued physical level because the energy was in many other places. Now you have a lot more available. It really stands out. So that's the heart center, right?
Yes.
And the heart center is, of course, that's our emotional center. Many of us are really in some way, at some level, afraid to feel very, very deeply. Right? Because we unconsciously associate very, very deep feeling with a very deep vulnerability. Because we've all had people jump all over us when we've been very emotionally open, right? Yeah. Everybody has. They've been totally wide open in childhood or even in adulthood. You're just, your emotional center is wide open. And then some idiot comes and shoves their foot in it for some reason, from their own ignorance, from their own innocent ignorance. But to our system, it doesn't feel like innocent ignorance. It feels like a tremendous violation and a threat. And so our systems get blocked wherever this happened. And so that's what then you experience. You experience that pain. So the first thing, again, to be redundant, is to not be trying to remove it or get rid of it, right? Because that's in a different version of a denial of that center of your being, trying to get rid of the pain. The pain is actually showing you something. It's drawing your attention, right?
Yeah.
Pain's really, it's great to draw attention. We can ignore a lot of things, but it's hard to ignore pain. So it draws your attention there. Listen to if that pain, whether it's subtle or overt, if that pain could speak, if it could tell its story, if it could say how it sees anything, get familiar with that pain. Because it's what that pain is saying to itself in the unconscious mind that's causing the fixation. It's causing the energetic fixation. And most of it's totally unconscious. We don't even know what we're saying to ourselves. I've had so many people over the years that have told me, Adya, it has no story, it's just a pain. There's no story, there's no story, there's no story. And I go, yes there is, yes there is, yes there is. And they go, no, yes, no. Okay, go and experiment. See See if the pain has anything to say. Sit with it. Meditate with it. And everybody that's done that, that's meditated, it may not reveal itself immediately, or it might. They come back and they always go, you know what? That pain or that anger or that grief, or that it started to talk. And it has a whole worldview. And it has belief systems. And it's the view that it has, it's the perception that it has that's causing the block. And you can't let go of it. We can't let go of something that we don't see, can we?
No.
Because unconsciously we believe it's true. Up here in some other space of being, we may know it's not true. But unconsciously, some part of ourselves can very deeply believe it is true. So get familiar with it. What does that blockage or that pain, what's it saying? If it was to talk to you, if it was to tell you its shortened version of its story. You get the feel?
Yeah, I do.
Now I could go through, we could go through this and start the process and, whatever, but it's really, I think, important that you realize that you can do it yourself and for yourself and in yourself. You really can. You just sit down and listen and you'll be amazed. It'll speak itself. And when it speaks itself, no editor. Get the editor out of there. No editorial, no judgment. Let it speak itself so you get familiar with the fixation. Right? We can't let go of something that we don't allow to express itself. Do you get the feel?
Yeah, definitely.
All right.